Good morning, students. Students, today we are going to start our chapter number 3. Okay, students. Now we are going to start our chapter number 3, and the name of our chapter 3 is drainage. But before starting this chapter, I would like to give you the update changes done by CBSE regarding our syllabus. Okay, students. So attend one more page. Students, in our geography book we have total 6 chapters, but at recently changes done by CBSE, so you should be aware about these. Okay, just prepare this page in your geography notebook also, so that you will be aware that which chapters have been deleted. Okay, chapter number 1 as it is, no changes. Chapter number 2 as it is, and we have been completed also 1 and 2. Okay, chapter number 3 only map skill we have to do. Okay, students, I have written here lesson 3 only map skill we have to do. After it 4 as it is, no changes. 5 as it is, no changes. But chapter number 6 has been completely deleted. I have written also. Okay, students, chapter number 6. Okay, so this is the updation done by CBSE. Okay, students, so we have to continue our syllabus according to this. Now just come on the topic. Okay, students, our today's chapter is drainage. Okay, students, as you all know, students, that only map skill we have to do. Okay, theoretical aspect will not be evaluated in our UT and our in our board examination. Okay, theoretical aspect will not be included. Only map skill, only a question will be there related to map skill. But students, I think that our knowledge matters. Okay, students, our knowledge matters a lot, and our knowledge is valuable for our lifetime. So we will read this chapter thoroughly. Thoroughly. I will give you each and every definition. You have to understand. Okay, and you have to keep all the definitions in your mind. But major thing that only a question will be there related to map skill. After all, we have to read the chapter for our understanding and for our better knowledge. Okay, students, so let me start this chapter. Okay, the name of this chapter is drainage. Students, at first you should be familiar with the word drainage. What is drainage? Drainage means river system of an area. Okay, students, drainage means river system of an area. Okay, the term drainage describes the river system of an area. Okay, what drainage describes? It describes the river system of an area. Look at the physical map. You will notice that small streams flowing from different directions come together to form the main river, which ultimately drains into a large water body. Okay, students, so in these lines you are getting the knowledge about that how a main river frames. Okay, we know that different small rivers are coming from different directions. Okay, and these small rivers would like to meet with the main river. Okay, and after that this main river flows further and further, and ultimately this river drains into a large water body such as a lake or a sea called or a lake such as a lake or a sea or an ocean. Okay, the area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. Students, now a question arises that ma'am, what is a drainage basin? Okay, drainage I have told you, just learn drainage means river system of an area. And now the definition, what is drainage system? The area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. The area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. Okay, students, I am going to give you these basic definitions with the help of another page. Okay, I have prepared my own notes, so just attend that page. After that we will read this page. Okay, students, just attend. What we are doing? Chapter number 3. Okay, class 9 geography, chapter 3, drainage. Okay, students, so drainage, river system of an area is known as drainage. Drainage basin, an area drained by a river, a total area drained by a river. along with tributaries and distributaries is known as drainage basin. Student, just understand this drainage basin with the help of this picture. Suppose this is an area, okay, and this is our main river. This is a main river, okay, students, these are tributaries and these are distributaries. Okay, just understand what are tributaries. Tributaries means other small helping rivers. Students, when a main river is flowing, you know that in that area other small rivers maybe flowing there. So these small rivers are also flowing in that area, and these small rivers join this main river. Okay, the as you can see that these small rivers are joining this main river. So these are known as tributaries. We can say helping rivers also. And students, these are distributaries. So just understand what is the difference between tributaries and distributaries. And this is a main river. Distributaries. Student, distributaries means that a small river is flowing. It's okay that a main river is flowing, but many times that main river divides into other small rivers. That main river divides into other small rivers, and these small rivers flow into different directions. Okay, so these are known as distributaries. Okay, just understand, tributaries are adding the more amount of water, okay, but distributaries are decreasing the amount of that water. It's okay, tributaries are adding the more water, but with the distributaries the amount of water is decreasing, because other small rivers are distributing from the main river, and these rivers are flowing into the different directions. Okay, three things: main river, tributaries and distributaries. And students, this total area is known as drainage basin. You can see drainage basin. It means an area drained by a river along with its tributaries and along with its distributaries is known as drainage basin. Student, I think now you have the clearance about what is a drainage basin. Okay, students, these are the basic key points related this chapter. Okay, and these points will be repeat again and again in this chapter. So you should be aware, you should be knowledgeable about these key points, because these key points will be repeat in this chapter again and again. And as I have told you that our knowledge matters, that it's okay only map skill will be included in this chapter, but we have to increase our knowledge. That's why I am giving you these notes, and I hope you will learn and prepare these notes in a nice manner. Okay, now see third number, water divide. What is water divide? Any elevated area means heighted area. Any heighted area may be a mountain, heighted area may be an upland area, separates two drainage basins. Student, this is a drainage basin. Separate two drainage basin. What water divide does? I have written here also, water divide separates two drainage basins. Okay, student, such as upland is known as a water divide. Okay, just understand it with the help of this picture. Student, this is an upland area. Okay, and this is working as a water divide. Suppose this is river A and this is river B. Okay, students, this is an upland area, and with the help of this upland area, these two rivers are getting separate with each other. Is it or not? Suppose this water divide is not here. So these two rivers will not be different rivers. These two rivers will be a single river only. How these two rivers are separating? With the help of this water divide, with the help of this heighted area. Okay, students, so when any heighted area divides two different drainage basins is known as water divide. Okay, students, water divide separates two drainage basins. So river B is flowing flowing into the east direction, and river A is flowing towards the west direction. Okay, student. So this portion, this heighted portion is known as water divide, and this water divide may be any mountain, this water divide may be any heighted area. Okay, students. So drainage, I have given definition. Okay, about drainage I have given you the definition about drainage basin. I have told you, and I have told you about water divide also. Okay, and I have told you this water divide with the help of this presentation. Okay, now students, see this one also. Okay, students, I am giving you one example that how water divide works. Okay, student, this is our, suppose this is our Mansarovar lake, and you know this Mansarovar lake is in Tibet. Okay, in China, is in Tibet. This is our Mansarovar lake, and you know this is an heighted area known as water divide. Okay, and this water divide separates these two different rivers. This is our Brahmaputra river, and this is our Indus river. Okay, and you know this with the help of this water divide, these two rivers are flowing into different directions. Okay, and you know the origin of this river Brahmaputra river is also from Mansarovar lake, and the origin of this Indus river is also from Mansarovar lake, and Mansarovar lake is in Tibet. So this Brahmaputra river flows towards east, you can see, and this Indus river flows towards west. How it is possible? With the help of this water divide only. Okay, students. Okay, now attend other remaining information. Students, now we will discuss remaining things. Okay, drainage basin I have told you. Okay, water divide I have told you. This picture presentation I have given to you. Just attend this important information. The world's largest drainage basin is of the Amazon river basin. Okay, students, if a question comes to you that which is the largest river basin in the world, then you have to be aware about it. Amazon river basin is the largest drainage basin in world. Okay, now drainage systems in India. Okay, students, now drainage I have told you, drainage basin I have told you, water divide I have told you. Now further topic, what is the drainage system in our India? The drainage systems of India are mainly controlled by the broad relief features of the subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups. Okay, students, we can divide our Indian river system into two major groups. What we are doing, we are doing drainage systems in our India. We can divide our drainage system into two major groups. Number one, the Himalayan rivers, and number two, the peninsular rivers. Okay. Apart from originating from the two major physiographic regions of India, the Himalayan and the peninsular rivers are different from each other in many ways. Okay, students, as you all know that in our previous chapter number 2 we have discussed about our physiographic divisions. So this is one of the physiographic divisions, and this is also one of the physiographic divisions we have done in chapter number 2. Like number 1 was the Himalaya mountain. Okay, and this was also there, the peninsular plateau. So number 1, the Himalayan rivers, of course you can understand by the names that these rivers are coming from the Himalaya mountains. And number 2, the peninsular rivers, and these rivers are coming from a central highland also, and these rivers are emerging from our eastern and western ghats also. Okay, so apart from I have told you this line, so just learn about these rivers. The Himalayan and the peninsular rivers are different from each other in many ways. Most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial. It means that they have water throughout the year. Okay, student, the Himalayan rivers have the enough water throughout the year. You know why? Because these rivers are coming from Himalaya mountain, and you know our Himalaya mountain is covered with snow. So snow is melting, so that's why these rivers have enough water throughout the year. These rivers receive water from rain as well as from melted snow. Okay, melted snow also from the lofty mountains. The two major Himalayan rivers, the Indus and the Brahmaputra. These are two major Himalayan rivers, the Indus and the Brahmaputra. Just learn these names, okay? Originate from the north of the mountain ranges. They have cut through the mountains, making gorges, deep hole. It means the Himalayan rivers have long courses. Long courses means long path. Long path from their source to the sea. It means the Himalayan rivers are coming from their source, okay, and these rivers cover very long path, long journey, and after the completion of their journey, the rivers would like to meet with the sea. They perform intensive erosional activity in their upper course and carry huge loads of silt and sand. Okay, it is very obvious that students, you know that when a river is coming with high speed, automatically erosion will be there. Okay, so these rivers are also busy in erosional process. Okay, and these rivers does lot of erosion in their upper courses, and these rivers carry huge loads of silt and sand. In the middle and the lower courses, students, you know, when a river completes its journey, a river has three courses: upper courses, middle courses, and lower courses. These rivers form meanders, oxbow lakes, and many other depositional features. Meanders, oxbow lakes, students, you know, these are the different features. When a river is flowing and flowing, so that river, in the path of the journey, that river forms different shapes. So these are the different shapes. Okay. Okay, they also have well developed deltas. Okay, and the rivers frame well developed deltas also. A large number of the peninsular rivers are seasonal, but peninsular rivers are seasonal as their flow is dependent on rainfall. During the dry season, even the large rivers have reduced flow of water in their channels. The peninsular rivers have shorter and shallower courses as compared to their Himalayan counterparts. Compared to Himalayan rivers, these peninsular rivers are shorter and shallower. However, some of them originate in the central highlands. It means the some of the peninsular rivers emerges from central highlands. Central highlands, I have told you in the last chapter also. Okay, and flow towards the west. Can you identify two such large rivers? Most of the rivers of peninsular India originate in the Western Ghats and flow towards the Bay of Bengal. Okay, students. So, students, today in this video, I have given introduction of this chapter. Basically, I have told you about the basic terms of this chapter, like drainage basin, water divide, okay, and the rivers drainage systems in our India. So I have told you that we can divide our Indian drainage system into two main parts: number one, the Himalayan rivers, and number two, the peninsular rivers. Okay, students. So in this video, I am giving you this much only, because this is the beginning of our chapter 3. Okay, students. Again, I am telling you that it's okay that only map skill will be included in the examination, but we have to focus about our knowledge, we have to focus about our understanding. So students, read this chapter. Okay, read these pages, how much I have given to you. Okay, students, and tomorrow in my next video we will discuss the detailed information about the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, and especially we will practice our map work. In my next video, especially we will practice our map work. Okay, students, so read the chapter, read these pages carefully, okay, and prepare your own notes. Only you have to prepare these two pages. Okay, don't prepare any further page, just prepare these two pages only, this one and this one also. I will give you these two pages in PDF form also, so that you will be comfortable in preparing these. Okay, students, thanks a lot, students. Have a good day.